ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Yes, good morning to all of you. Continuation to the last class. Definitely the species of individuals, whenever they may be geographically isolated, as per their living area, they may be develop certain minor variations in their body. By that way, they may be finally leads to the origin of the subspecies. Means subspecies origination is mainly due to the geographical isolation. Definitely, very important point. One species of individuals must be reproductively isolated from the other species of individual. So never two different species of individuals may be involved in the sexual reproduction. Never they produces the fertile offsprings. But in few cases, the two different species which are belongs to same genus, but in few cases, two different species which are belongs to same genus maybe gets involved in the mating, but they can produce the sterile offsprings but not fertile. So if in the case two different species of individuals which are belongs to same genus, if they maybe gets involved in the mating, if they maybe gets involved in the sexual reproduction, they produces the sterile offsprings but not the fertile. For example, when we observe the male donkey, scientifically it is called as the jock. Male donkey is scientifically called as the jock, and female horse. Female horse, it is scientifically called as mare. So male donkey, female horse belongs to same genus, that is the equus. That is the equus. Definitely this donkey is one species, this horse is another species. These two different species of individuals which are belongs to same genus, that is the equus. Definitely these two, though they may be involved in the sexual intercourse, though they may be involved in the mating, definitely whatever the daughter which is gets produces, whatever the daughter which is produces, that is said to be as the mule. That is said to be as the mule. Mating between the jock and mare, mating between the male donkey and the female horse leads to the production of the mule. This is the sterile. Means it do not have the reproductive capability. It do not has the capacity to produce the offsprings. It do not has the capacity to produce the daughters later. That is said to be as the sterile. Means what I am saying here, that in generally two different species of individuals avoids sexual reproduction. But if in the case two different species of individuals which are belongs to same genus, if they may be involved in the sexual intercourse, if they may be involved in the sexual reproduction, definitely they produces the sterile offsprings but not the fertile offspring. So for example, if mating is occurs, sexual reproduction is occurs between the male donkey and female horse. This is very important in NEET examination. Male donkey is also called as the jock. Female horse is also called as the male. If we can allow sexual mating between these two, then whatever the daughter which is produces, that is said to be as the mule, that is sterile. Means male do not have the capacity to produce the daughters later. It do not have the reproductive ability to produce the daughters later. So that only this is said to be as the sterile. Similarly, if we can allow the mating between the female donkey, this is said to be as the scientifically genet. This is the genet. Female donkey is said to be as the genet. Male horse, this is scientifically called as the stallion. Male horse is scientifically called as the stallion. Between these two, if we can allow the mating, that leads to the production of hinny. That leads to the production of the hinny. This is also sterile. This is also sterile. Definitely, hinny is also not able to produce daughters in the further generation. Hinny is also do not have the reproductive potential to produce the daughters into the next generation. So that only this is also sterile. In that way, if the two different species of individual which are belongs to same genus, though if they may be involved in the sexual intercourse, though they may be involved in the sexual reproduction, they produces the sterile offsprings. This kind of the mating is said to be as the interspecific hybridization. This is said to be as the interspecific hybridization. Means different species of individuals naturally avoid sexual reproduction, but forcefully if we can allow them to involve in the sexual reproduction, that is said to be as the interspecific hybridization that leads to the production of the sterile offsprings. Next to another concept in species concept is the Mendelian population. Mendelian population. Mendelian population, another concept in species concept is Mendelian population. This was proposed by Dobzhansky. Dobzhansky proposed this Mendelian population. Then as per him, what is the Mendelian population means? Group of individuals which are similar morphologically, which can share, common gene pool, which can undergoes assortative mating, or preferential mating, to produce fertile offsprings, that group is said to be as the Mendelian population. So definitely, as per the Dubzhansky, what is the Mendelian population means? Group of the individuals which are similar morphologically. For example, all the humans are externally they are similar. All the humans are externally with the same morphology, because in all persons here head is there, here nose is there, here ears, here eyes, here mouth, like that. Definitely in all humans external morphology is same. All the humans are externally with the same morphology, they are similar. Definitely, which can share the common gene pool, means during the sexual reproduction, from the father 23 chromosomes are inserted into the zygote in the form of the sperm cell. From the mother also 23 chromosomes are inserted into the zygote in the form of the ovum. So means definitely among the humans, chromosomes are gets shared from generation to generation. Among the humans, human chromosomes are inherited from generation to generation. That is said to be as the sharing of the common gene pool. Sharing of common gene pool means definitely during the sexual reproduction, from the father 23 chromosomes are inherited into the zygote through the sperm cell. From the mother also 23 chromosomes are inherited into the zygote through the ovum. That is said to be as the sharing of common gene pool. Means among the humans only this 46 human chromosomes are gets shared. From one generation to another generation they may be gets shared. That is said to be as the common gene pool, sharing of common gene pool, which can undergo the assortative mating, selective mating, marriage system. Definitely in the case of the human, rapid mating is not appears. Selective mating is appears by the marriage system. One husband, one wife, they maybe gets involved in the mating to produce the daughters. So selective mating is said to be as the assortative mating. Preferential mating means in the case of the humans, marriage system is there. Definitely by the marriage system, one male, one females maybe gets married. They may be throughout their lifetime may be involved in the sexual reproduction to produce the daughters. That is said to be as the assortative mating or the preferential mating. Again, to produce the fertile offsprings, to produce the daughters which may be with the reproductive ability to produce the daughters into the next generation. In that way, fertile offsprings nothing but due to the mating, whatever the daughters which may be produced, if they are with the reproductive potential, then that is said to be as the fertile offspring. In that way, as per the Dobzhansky, this Mendelian population mode is restricted to the human population. Mendelian population mode is restricted to the human population. Definitely, as per him, group of the individuals which are similar morphologically, which can share the common gene pool, which can undergo the preferential mating or the selective mating or the assortative mating to produce the fertile offspring, that group is said to be as the Mendelian population. Again, definitely this species is dynamic. Definitely last point in species concept is species is dynamic. What is the meaning of this? Species is dynamic. What is the meaning of this species is dynamic? Means one species of individuals never remains as constant. One species of individuals never remains as constant. They continuously undergoes several changes. They continuously reaches to the different environments. As per that different environment, they acquire certain changes in their body. As a result of this, finally, they may be evolved into new species after some time. So definitely, each and every species of individuals must be visit different environmental areas where they may be acquired certain adaptations, certain changes in their body. As a result of this, that kind of the adaptations later leads to evolution of new species. That is said to be as the species is dynamic. Dynamic nothing but each and every species of individuals continuously undergoes the changes. Each and every species of individual continuously visit new environment where they may be develop certain adaptations that finally leads to the origin of the new species. That is said to be as the species is dynamic. This is the species concept. Next continuation topic is the nomenclature. Next continuation topic is the nomenclature. Continuation topic is the nomenclature. So it is believed that about 1.25 million species of individuals are discovered, described so far. About 1.25 million species of animals were discovered and described so far. So all that kind of the individuals may be called with their local names, with their regional languages. So definitely, due to this, it creates a lot of confusion to us to call the particular individual name. There is that leads to creation of a lot of confusion to us to call a particular individual with the same name. Because if the animals are called with their local regional languages, if this kind of the same animal, if it can be called in different areas with the different names as per their local, as per their regional language, definitely it create a lot of confusion to us. So that only to avoid this confusion, a systematic, a standardized naming pattern must be evaluated. Naming pattern must be gets proposed. So that is said to be as the nomenclature pattern. Means why nomenclature must be required? What is the necessity of nomenclature to the animals? Means it is believed that for about 1.25 million species of animals, 1.25 million species of animals were discovered and described so far. All such animal species may be called with different names in their different areas with different local and regional languages. Means the single animal may be called with different names in different areas. Otherwise, different animals may be called with the same name in different areas. So that only that creates a lot of confusion to us to call a particular individual. So that only a standardized, a accurate naming system must be acquired. A naming pattern must be proposed to call a particular individual with a single name throughout the world or universally. So that only if a system, if it is gets proposed, if a standardized system, if it is gets proposed to propose a name to the individual to call it with a single name throughout the world or universally, then that kind of the standardized system is said to be as the nomenclature system or the naming pattern system. This is said to be as the nomenclature system. Nomenclature system. This nomenclature system must be follows ICZN guidelines while proposing a name to the individual. Definitely nomenclature system, naming pattern system must be follows the guidelines of the ICZN rules or guidelines of the ICZN while proposing a scientific name to the given individual. So definitely what is the ICZN? International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. What is the ICZN full form? International Code for Zoological Nomenclature is the ICZN. As per the guidelines of the ICZN only, we have to propose a scientific name to the given individual. Definitely, what is the accurate nomenclature system which was followed nowadays? What is the accurate naming pattern system which was followed nowadays to propose the scientific name to the individual universally? Means binomial nomenclature method or binomial nomenclature method. So what is the method which is nowadays commonly used to propose a scientific name to the individual as per the guidelines of the ICZN means binomial nomenclature or the binomial nomenclature system. Definitely binomial nomenclature method was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. This binomial nomenclature method was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus in 10th edition. 10th edition of Systema Naturae is the famous publication of the Carolus Linnaeus. Systema Naturae is the famous publication of the Carolus Linnaeus. In the 10th edition of Systema Naturae, he publicated this binomial nomenclature method to propose a scientific name to the individual. So in 10th edition of the Systema Naturae, Carolus Linnaeus publicated this binomial nomenclature method or the binomial nomenclature method. Again, as per the binomial nomenclature method, as per the binomial nomenclature method, as per binomial nomenclature method, so what is the name which have to be proposed to the individual means binomen. How to be proposed to the individual as the scientific name? What is the binomen? The scientific name, if it is with the two words, then it is said to be as the binomen. For example, the scientific name of human is Homo sapiens. Is the scientific name of the human. Homo sapiens is the scientific name of the human. So definitely in this case, Homo is the one word, sapiens is the another word. If two words are present in the scientific name, then that kind of the name is said to be as the binomen. Binomen of this first word, this is the Homo, represent genus word. Second sapien word represent species word. Definitely in the binomen, the first word represent genus, second word represent the species word. Again, definitely genus must be represent. Genus word must be represent noun. Species word must be represent adjective. Species word must be represent the adjective. Genus word must be represent the noun. In that way, as per the binomial nomenclature method, binomen have to be proposed as the scientific name to the given individual. In the binomen, definitely two words are there. First word is a genus word which represent the noun. Second word is the species word that is represent the adjective. Adjective. Again, what are the rules? which we have to follow while proposing a scientific name to the individual. What are the rules which we have to follow while proposing a scientific name to that kind of the individual? Genus word must be begins with capital letter and species word must be begins with small letter. This is the first condition. Definitely whatever the words which may be used for proposing of the scientific name, that words must be from the Latin language. We must be uses the Latin words for proposing the scientific name. Definitely Latin words have to be used for proposal of the scientific name to the individual. Again, of this scientific name, the genus word must be begins with capital letter. Species word must be begins with small letter. Species word must be begins with small letter. That is the first condition. Second condition, after completing this scientific name, writing or scientific name must be written or typed with italic form. Second one is the scientific name. Scientific name must be written in italic form. Italic form means like this. Words must be separate. Words must be separate like this. This is said to be as the italic form. Scientific name must be written in italic form. Italic manner means this is the italic manner. This is the italic type. This is the italic type. Definitely, this scientific name must be written with the italic form or typed with the italic manner. That is the second condition. Third condition, after completing the writing, after completing the typing, we should separately underline this genus as well as species words separately. After completing the typing of the scientific name, after completing the writing of the scientific name, separately genus and species have to be underlined. That is third condition. After writing of scientific name, genus, species words must be underlined separately. So definitely after completing the writing of the scientific name, this genus word as well as the species word have to be separately underlined like this. Underlined separately. That is the third condition. Fourth condition, if we want to if we want to mention the scientist name who may be proposed that kind of the scientific name, that scientific name have to be publicated after the species word in the scientific name. That scientist name have to be publicated after the species word in the scientific name. For example, so formerly lion scientific name is the Felis leo is the scientific name of the lion formerly, but not now. Former scientific name of the lion is Felis leo. This is the genus word, this is the species word. Again, this must be begins with the capital, this must be begins with the small. After completing the writing of this scientific name, definitely we have to underline them separately like this. We have to underline them separately. If we want to mention the proposed scientist name, the scientist who proposed this name to the lion, if we want to mention, definitely scientist name have to be proposed after the species word in the scientific name. So this Felis leo word, this Felis leo scientific name was publicated or proposed by the Carolus Linnaeus. So that only definitely after species word, that is the leo, either the abbreviated from, that is the Linnae, or complete word, that is the Linnaeus. Felis leo Linnaeus, either the complete name of scientist or the abbreviated form of the scientist name have to be publicated after the species word in the scientific name. So definitely if we want to mention scientist name who publicated that kind of the scientific name to the given individual, this scientist name have to be written after the species word in the scientific name, either in full form or in abbreviated form. That is the fourth rule. Definitely if we wants to represent scientist name, if we wants to represent a scientist name, then we have to mention, we have to write scientist name after species word, either in full form or in abbreviated form. Definitely if we want to mention the scientist name who proposed that scientific name to the given individual, definitely that scientist name have to be written after the species word in the scientific name, either in full form or in abbreviated form. This is the abbreviated form, this is the full form. Again, fifth rule, if we want to mention the proposed year, if we want to mention the proposed year, that proposed year have to be mentioned after the scientist name in the scientific name. Definitely Felis leo scientific name was publicated or proposed by the Carolus Linnaeus to the lion in 1758. In 1758, so this publicated or proposed year have to be mentioned after the scientist name. After the scientist name. So definitely if we want to mention the proposed year to the given individual, the proposed scientific name to the given individual by the scientist, definitely that academic year have to be mentioned after the scientist name in a scientific name. Means to mention, or if we wanted to mention, academic year or proposed year, academic year nothing but proposed year, then we must be write it after scientist, name in scientific name, like this. So definitely Pellis Leo, scientific name was proposed by the Carolus Linnaeus to the lion in 1758. So that only this academic year have to be mentioned behind the scientific, behind the scientist name in the scientific name. These are the rules. What are the rules of the binomial nomenclature means? Genus word must be begins with the capital letter, species word must be begins with the small letter, like this. Again, scientific name must be written in italic form, like this. After writing the scientific name, genus species words must be underlined separately, like this. If we wanted to represent scientist name, then we have to write scientist name after the species word, either in full form or in abbreviated form, like this. If we wanted to mention the scientist name, that may be represented as Lin, that is the Linnaeus, or the complete word, that is the Linnaeus. If we wanted to mention the academic year, then academic year nothing but proposed year, then we have to write it after the scientist name in the scientific name. These are the rules of the binomial nomenclature.